So today, Bezrat Hashem, we're learning continuing in Halachot Hoshen Mishpat, and there's very interesting points that we will learn today, Bezrat Hashem. So first of all, we spoke about the Dayanim that of today, that they don't have the smicha, and the way that they can do the judging, the way that they can do the act of doing the judgment of the smicha of the Beddin is because they are the messengers of the first generations. Right? That's called Shlichuteo de Kamai Ka'avdinan. We are the messengers of the first generations. So the question is, what can we do as the messengers of the first generations? What is the difference between what we have in the Torah, in the Gemara, in the time that they did have the real smicha, to this time, our time? So basically, we have the definition is, it's called things that are shachiach, that it's common, v'yesh b'hem chisaron kis, and there is a loss of money. If you won't deal with it, someone will lose money. So for example, if I took a loan and there's no bedding that will force me to pay the loan, so someone will lose money, obviously. So if the bedding will not do what they have to do, charge the people that took the loan, so it will be lost. And not only that, the people that have the money, they wouldn't want to borrow, to give the money, because they know it will be very difficult to take it out afterwards. If the bedding don't do what they have to do to charge the money, so the people that needs to give the money, they wouldn't want to give it, right? And then the poor people that they need the loan, they won't have where to turn to. So sometimes it can be a question of life and death. People don't have food, they need money to buy food. If you won't find a way to get the loan, people might starve, chas v'shalom. Okay? So that's called, in the language of Chazal, Shelo tina'el delet bifnei lovin, that the door will not be closed for the poor people when they need the loan. So for that we need the system to charge the people. Okay, and then the rich people will feel secure to give them money, and the poor people will have where to turn to when they need a loan. Good. That's one side. The other side is called lin'ol delet bifnei oseh avla, to lock the door in front of the bad people that they want to do bad. Right? So there is, unfortunately, many crooked people in the world that wherever they see people that they don't know how to deal with them, so they try to take advantage and to squeeze as much as they can. So to help the innocent people that they don't know how to protect themselves, we have to give the Beddin the strength to force those wicked people to give back the money they took. Right? So that's called lin'ol delet bifnei osevla, to lock the door in front of the wicked people. Right? So we have one door that we want to leave open, and we have one door that we want to close. So, first of all, let's speak about the hoda'ot ve'alva'ot. Okay, now I'm speaking about the things that the Bedin is dealing with. Okay, all of this shiur is around this subject. So what is hoda'ot ve'alva'ot? So halva'ot is loans. That's what I just explained. Hoda'ot, literally it means admitting. So what does it mean? It means that the Bedin deals with admitting. So for example, let's say Reuven calls Shimon to the Bedin and he claims, I have two witnesses that you admitted in front of them that you took a loan from me. Right? So this something that the Bedin will deal with it. Why? Because there is two ingredients here. One, a loan, and we explained already that the Bedin deals with the loans, and another one which is the admitting in front of the Bedin. Right? So we have two things, two subjects that the Bedin deals with them. They can be combined or they can be separated. Doesn't have to be combined. Okay? Good. That's one thing. And like I said, it's common. Those two things are common. They happens usually, oftenly. And there's a loss of money. If we won't deal with it, someone will lose money. Another thing that is also something that the Bedin deals with is inheritages and presents. So let's say I have two witnesses that Reuven wanted to give me his house before he died. Right? So that's inheritage, and it's combined with admitting. So that's another thing that the Bedin will deal with. Right? Also the same thing, let's say Reuven gave me a present, his car. Okay? And I did the act of bringing the car to my domain. It's called kinyan. I did kinyan over the car. And I have two witnesses over it. Okay? Then Reuven went back home and his wife screamed at him, "What you did? You sold the car! How could you do it? It's my car!" Whatever. Yeah? So, okay, we're going into a side issue. If she's claiming it's her car, so forget about it. It becomes complicated. So let's say it was his car, but she's screaming. So he comes back and he says, no, I changed my mind. I need the car. I cannot give it to you. But excuse me, you already gave it. It's already mine. I did kinyan. I purchased it. Right? Even though I didn't pay money, but I did kinyan over the present you gave me. Now it's mine. I have two witnesses. Okay? So we go to the Bedin, and if I have the witnesses, the Bedin will deal with it and give me the car. Right? Good. Another issue that is common and the Bedin deals with is damages. So if your neighbors broke your window or something like that, so you can take him to the Bedin, and the Bedin will force him to pay. Okay? That's called damage. He's damaging my property. Now, there is something that is extra payment. For example, a thief. In the Torah, in Parashat Mishpatim, it says that a thief have to pay double. So, let's say Reuven have a flock of sheep, and in the night Shimon comes, take one sheep over the shoulder and runs with it. Okay? Thief, he's a thief. Now, if he was found, he didn't admit it. He was found, and they take him to the Bedin. So if we had the Bedin of the Torah, that they had the real smicha, they are mumchim, they are experts in those all those laws, they should give him, except of paying the value of the sheep that he took, you have to pay double extra payment. Okay, so this double extra payment, that's called knas, a fine. Okay, so those fines, there's different fines. This is one of them. But fines is one of the things that the Bedin of today cannot deal with. We don't have the strength to force someone to pay a fine. We can force him to pay the basic payment. Whatever he took, you have to give back. But to pay a fine, no. Why not? So let's think about it. We said the principle is that it will be common and it will be a loss of money. So if he gives me back the sheep that he took, so I didn't lose money. I'm not losing money because of the fact he's not paying me double. Obviously, if he would have paid me double, so I would have been twice as rich. And now I'm only the original richness, whatever, right? So it's like I lost money, but it's not really losing money. It is what it is. I am what I was before. I have the same amount of money that I had before. So that's not called losing money. So that's why the Bedin doesn't deal with fines, basically. Okay? And if you want to look it up, so you can look up Gemara of Baba Kama, Daf Pei Daled. Basically, it's most of Pei Daled, but mostly the side of B. Yeah. Pei Daled is 84B. That's one of the sources for this halachot. By the way, I wanted to say that whoever have possibility to learn the Gemara of Sanhedrin and the halachot of Sanhedrin in the Rambam, it will give you guys a lot of background for these laws that we're learning in this shiur of Hoshen Mishpat. A lot of what we will learn is based on the Gemara of Sanhedrin and the halachot of Sanhedrin in the Rambam. Okay? So that's, I'm saying those things because I know that those things are available in English. If you can get, if you can learn or get also the Hoshen Mishpat with the Bet Yosef too, Bet Yosef, Shulchan Aruch with all the friends, the big rabbis around him. Yeah, it's called Nosei Kelim. You know what is Nosei Kelim? Yeah, in the olden times they had like knights, right? That they had a lot of armor. So they had like a simple guy goes with him to carry his stuff, right? That's called Nosei Kelim. So all the commentaries around the Shulchan Aruch, it's called the Nosei Kelim of the Shulchan Aruch. They carry all what was too heavy for the Shulchan Aruch, and he didn't explain it. It was too length for him, and he wanted to be short. So they came and they expand his words and explained all the different opinions and all different sides. So it's called Nos'ei Kalim. Okay. Anyhow. So another point I wanted to do today is about what is the value, what is the level of our judgment today. So simply putting, from the Shulchan Aruch, it seems that all the laws that we're practicing in the Beit Din, it's all the Rabbanan, because we don't have the force of the original Beit Din, like Beit Din of Moshe Rabbeinu, like the Sanhedrin of Moshe Rabbeinu. We have only the Shlichutei de Kamay Avdinan, the messengery strength from the first generations. So most of the poskim, they say that all what we are practicing, it's all the Rabbanan. Okay? And there's it's a big subject. I'm not going in very deeply, but I'm just mentioning that one of the most important commentaries of the Shulchan Aruch is called Netivot HaMishpat. In the yeshivish world, they call it Nesivos. Okay? So I'll call it Netivot HaMishpat. So Netivot HaMishpat is one of the commentaries that is the latest commentaries, one of the latest commentaries, and many times the halacha is like him. Okay, not always, but many times he is the last one to say his word. So we post him like him. So he's claiming that even though the strength that we have is secondary because we are messengers, yet it is the Oraita. Okay? And the proof that he brings is very interesting. He brings the proof from the fact that the Beit Din of today, they can do convert. They can have the Beit Din can use to make conversion. So let's think about it. When you have a Gentile that is coming to a Jewish lady and is giving her money for Kiddushin, to marry her. Okay? Is she married to him? No. She's not. Because he's Gentile. He's not Jewish. So, if now her neighbor that is Jewish will give her Kiddushin, she will be married to the Jewish guy. Even though he was second, because she was never married for the first guy. Now, okay? Now, what about if this guy that gave her the Kiddushin, the first one, before he gave her the Kiddushin, he did conversion. Yeah, so now he's a convert. So if he's a convert, it's like Jewish. So if he's coming and he's giving her the Kiddushin, so she's Mikudeshet. She's his wife now. Right? So if the second one will give her now Kiddushin, she will not be married to the second one without divorcing the first one. Because a married lady that she receives Kiddushin from a second guy, it's nothing. Right? It's nothing. If she's already married, so Kiddushin will not do anything. So you see from that's the proof of the Nesivos, that is proving that for this reason you must say that the Beit Din have the strength of the Oraita, because the Kiddushin is Din the Oraita, right? So if the second Kiddushin of the second guy will not apply because of the conversion of the first guy, it must be that the first guy conversion have the strength of the Oraita, because the Kiddushin is Kiddushin the Oraita. I don't know if I made myself clear, but okay. If not, you're welcome to send your question, an email or something, and Bezrat Hashem for the next few I'll try to explain it again if you want. Anyhow, another interesting subject. There is things that the Beit Din, it says in the Poskim, in the Gemara, in the Torah, that the Beit Din needs to have those things with them. It's called the tools of the Beit Din. What are the tools of Beit Din? So they have a stick, like a rod, to beat up the people that are not behaving. They have a leash to whip the people that are not behaving. They have a shofar that they blow when they do like nidui on someone. If someone is disobeying the Beit Din, so they do, like, it's called, like they say discommunication. Yeah, it's not nidui. That is not count part of the minyan, and no one should speak with them, whatever. It's called nidui. So they have a shofar for nidui, and they have a sandal of chalitza for yibum. So I won't explain now all the concept of yibum. If you know it, you know. If you don't know it, so Bezrat Hashem will get to it another time. But that's called the tools of the Beit Din. So it seems from the Poskim, the Gemara and the Torah brings it, Shulchan Aruch brings it simply, that a Beit Din should have those things with them. Okay? And now it's a question. If you don't have those things, can you make a Beit Din? Can you be a Dayan without it? Can you be a carpenter without a saw, without a hammer? If that's the tools of the Beit Din, so you need it to be part of to make a Beit Din. You need those tools, right? So the Sma, Sefer Meirat Anayim, in short it's called Sma. Samech Mem Ayin, Sma. Sefer Meirat Anayim is one of the basic commentaries on the Shulchan Aruch. So he says, I saw the old generation rabbis that they were not worried about those tools of Beit Din. They didn't have the rod to beat up the people and the whip to whip them, and they didn't have those things. So is that a question on the strength of the Beit Din? The fact that they don't have those tools, is that a question on the strength of the Beit Din? So literally, like simply, let's think about it. Why the Beit Din need those things? So simply putting, we want to have fear in the simple people from the Beit Din, right? If someone you have a Yetzer Hara to do something bad, right? So if he doesn't have the fear of Hashem on his head, so at least that he will have the fear of the yoke of the Beit Din, that he knows that physically they will beat him up, right? And it might save him from doing a sin. That's the idea. Okay? Today, if you say that to people, so they'll be like a shock. What do you mean? The rabbi will beat up people? What do you mean? Yeah. But when the police does it, so then it's good, it's fine, right? Normal. So we don't trust the police so much to do the work that should be done, because they are not going to go in the according to the laws of the Torah, unfortunately. So it would have been better if the whole system would have run according to the laws of the Torah, right? And also the Bedin would have the strength to do the judgment. Like today, Lahavdil, Elef Alfei of the Lord, it's a big difference, but like they have a strength of fearing the people in the regular police and court system. So also the system of the court of the Torah should have a strength like that. Okay? I'll tell you a little story. There was a big rabbi that came from Yemen about almost 100 years ago, maybe 60 years ago, maybe, I'm not sure exactly, but many years ago. He came from Yemen, and he was a big rabbi, and they heard about him in Eretz Israel. And when he came, they came to him and they asked him, would you be a rabbi of the Rabbanut, of the court system of the state of Israel? So he looked at them and he told them like that, said, if I will decide to execute someone, would you do it? They said, no, you cannot execute people. What do you mean? Nah, chas v'shalom. No, we're not doing those things here. So he said, okay, so I don't want to be a rabbi here. Right? So obviously, it's not someone that had a lust to kill people, right? We're not talking about like a killer, a murderer, chas v'shalom, right? But he understood that to be a rabbi, to be part of Bedin, to make a system of, so you have to have strength to overcome, that people will feel that if they don't not doing right, so the rabbi will take care of them, right? For good or better, as they say. So unfortunately today we're missing that. Anyhow, back to our subject. So the Sma says, I didn't see the rabbis in my generation, the old rabbis, that they had those things. Okay? And the Sma suggesting why they didn't have those things, and he's saying maybe the reason is because those old rabbis that I saw in my life, in my childhood, they understood that what the Gemara and the Tur means when they speak about those tools is when you have the real bedding of smuchim, then you need those things, then you need those tools. But when you don't have those, when you don't have those things, when you don't have the bedding of smuchim, so you don't need those tools. Okay? That's the netivot. Now, the Pitchei Tshuva is, it brings a different opinion, and he says, it's not connected. He says that the reason that the Rama brought that it's because of smuchim or not smuchim, there's no source for that. So if you want to have those tools, let's say you make a bedding, Bezrat Hashem soon. I mean, soon relatively. So you make a bedding. So do you need to have those tools or no? So according to the Sma, you don't need it, right? Because you don't have the real smicha of Moshe Rabbeinu. But according to the Pitchei Tshuva, it brings the answer of Shvut Yaakov. So it says, if you want to have it, you can put it in your bedding. And it's not, you cannot say it looks like pride. Okay? When someone is doing something that is not proper for him, and he's doing more than what is supposed to be done in these circumstances, so that's called pride. So sometimes we say you cannot do something because it looks like too much for you in your level, and that's look like pride, right? There's many things like that. Okay, we won't get into that subject now, but maybe another time. Anyhow, so according to the Shulchan, the Pitkei Teshuvah and the Shvut Yaakov, you can do it, no problem. Good. Now, let's speak about another few examples of what the Beit Din doesn't deal with. What the Beit Din doesn't deal with. So one of the things is animal that damages another animal. When you have animal that damages another animal, for example, your ox that goes your neighbor's ox, yeah? So your neighbor screams, "Ah, your ox killed my ox! You have to pay me." Okay, so the Beit Din today, they are not dealing with it, and they won't be able to charge the money for this. So those things is why, because it is not common. He said one of the principles that it will be common, something that happens usually, oftenly, and because it's not, so that's why it cannot be charged. Okay. Now let's finish with that. There is in the things that the animals they do damages. We'll speak about it in length, Be'ezrat Hashem, in the future. But just in short, it's brought down in Baba Kama that it has a few ways of damaging. One of the ways, it's called keren, a horn. So usually the animals don't go with their horns. Yeah, right. If someone have animals and they run and they go, so it's something that everybody will speak about because it's not normal, it's strange, right? So those strange things, any strange damage that is not counted usually, it's called keren, and then we won't charge it. Okay, but for example, if the animal eats up the flowers or the vegetables of the neighbor, that's a different kind of damage. That's called shen, right? And that's very common. If the animals can go to the neighbor's yard, so it's very normal that they will eat up his vegetables, whatever it is. So because it is very normal and common, so that's example of something that the Beit Din will charge. Okay? Now, last thing for today, that you can do, if the animal is running on the way and there's small stones that are flying from the feet of the animals, so those stones, it's called tzrorot, if they crash something, let's say you have a nice laptop and a little stone of your neighbor's horse flies through your window and breaks the screen of your laptop. Yeah? So that's called nezek of tzrorot, damage from those little stones that flies from the feet of the animals. So this damage should have been full price of damaging, like regular damage. But there's a special law for this kind of damage. It's called chatzi nezek mitzrorot, half a damage. In a case like that, the guy will pay only half price for the screen of your laptop. Okay? So this half price is, even though it's not the price it should be, the Bedin deals with it because it's part of the regular damages. So that's something that we are dealing with, we are charging. Okay? Good. So basically we finished the Seif Aleph of Siman Aleph of Shulchan Aruch Hoshen Mishpat, and the next shiur I hope we'll manage to do it as we want, with the presentation and everything, and we'll have it on Seif Bet of Hoshen Mishpat, and the presentation that I prepared for this shiur, so we'll try to upload it separately, and basically it have the text that I was basing myself on, and so whoever wants can have the presentation on one side and me speaking in the background, and maybe it will combine nicely. I don't know how it will work. Anyhow, Shalom Aleichem, B'atzlacha, all the blessings, Kol Tov.